Okay, so I am glazing the inside of my mugs now, and this is how I do it. I'll try to describe all the little pieces. So I have a relatively thin version of my glaze mixed up because the liner glaze I use is also a glaze that I use on the outside. At least for this dark clay, I use a black liner glaze. So I use one little thing full. What are they called? Little measuring cup full. And what I do is I put my hand through the handle, I turn it around until it goes all the way around, and then I unwind it the other way to get that drip supposedly, hopefully, back inside the cup, so then I don't have a lot of cleanup to do on the rim. That one was perfect. This is also how I tell if my glaze is mixed to the right consistency, is that drip should just fold right back into the cup. So this is really nice. Instead of doing them individually, I just go down the line. I have all my handles lined up so I can easily put my hand straight through it. They're all ready for me. Also, by the way, these pots are not yet waxed. This is a really nice trick too, is that after I glaze the insides, then they're going to get a little moist, and then I'm going to wax them. And the idea behind that is that, hold on, it's time for me to dump this out. Hold on one sec, viewer. Whoops. Whoops. Okay. The idea behind that, oh look, one of those, is that, I'll show you. Well, basically, since the pot is a little bit wet, then the wax is going to dry quickly, so I can wax it and stick it on the board and it won't stick to the board. Such a great trick. I just figured it out recently. So much of my life is about figuring out tricks. So here we go. Here's some that I just did. They're going to start getting a little bit cool on the bottom. Sometimes they'll get a little discolored on the bottom. Again, I'm like kind of making sure they're not like stuff, schmutz, crumbs on the bottom. And then here we go. I use one of these pans with paraffin, and here's how I do it. I set the corner in. See if I can get your angle here. Okay, so I set the corner in, I set it down on an angle, and then I slowly go down so it doesn't get any little bubble drips, and I come out the way that I went in. And there we go. And it cools evenly or quickly enough that I can just set it right down on my board and it will not stick. Totally great little trick. Let's do a couple more just so you can see. I put it in on the angle, set it flat, back the way it came out, back the way it went in, I mean, and then onto the board. Another thing that you can do is just wet down your board before you do this. And that's really nice because then you know your board is clean. So if there were any like old glaze drips or anything on it, it's clean. Plus the wetness of the board will keep the waxed bottoms from sticking. Normally I do 2 at a time because I'm not holding a camera. Alright, hopefully that's helpful. Woo!